We are discussing about the Gauss law. As I said, psi is equal to q. Simply you can able to start the Gauss law like this. Psi is equal to q. Psi is nothing but net electric flux passing through the closed surface. You need to consider here closed surface. So whatever the net electric flux which is there, which is passing through the closed surface, passing in the sense that can be entering or that can be leaving. For the time being you consider that is passing, and in this example I have taken the net electric flux lines are going out of this particular closed surface. Okay, then already we know from our basic lectures that is positive charge is there. From that positive charge all the electric flux lines are coming outside. The electric flux lines are diverging from the positive charge and converging to the negative charge. We know that one. Okay, negative charge means all the flux lines are going inside, and positive charge means all the flux lines are going outside. That is diverging positive charge, it is converging the negative charge. Like that we can able to consider. So for our simplicity I have taken here positive charge only. It is one closed surface, positive charge is there. For comparison purpose you consider your bag is there. In your bag books are available. So those books you consider as the charges, and your bag is the closed surface. Okay, from that books whatever the radiation is coming, whatever the electric flux lines are coming, about that one we are discussing here. The Gauss law is about that. Whenever Gauss law is coming into picture in your discussion, you think about your particular bag. Okay, college bag is there, within that books are available. The books are charges and college bag is nothing but this particular closed surface. Okay, you have your zip has been closed, so you can able to consider now that bag is nothing but closed surface. Within that bag books are available. Those books are charges. Okay, those books are charges and that bag is nothing but closed surface. Okay, so I have kept here one particular point positive charge, that is a point charge I have kept within this closed surface, and from our basics I can tell this positive charge is giving the electric flux lines outwards. So all the electric flux lines are coming outside. And here now we can able to discuss about the Gauss law. Gauss law requires all these things. Gauss law is involving electric flux and the charge, electric charge. These two things are involved in the Gauss law. Next you need to think about closed surface. All these things you should know. Then only you can able to talk. Okay. So here I will give one important thing, that is about closed line and closed surface. Here you see this is line, but it is closed line. It is closed. Okay, it is a line, open line, it is closed. This is just one point. Okay, points, line, open line, it is closed line. But closed line is giving open surface. It is open surface. Open surface is nothing but closed line. It is open line. It is open line. It is open surface, that is nothing but the open surface has been created by using the closed line. Line you are drawing, finally you have closed that line. That's why it is closed line, but that is providing the open surface. Now you have taken the same open surface. Now you are closing this surface. You are closing this surface means like this I have represented. It is closed surface. It is equal to, I can say it is volume. The understanding of these things is very, very important. Okay, several times we are going to use this terminology, so you have to understand this thing. Okay, so one point, by joining so many points you will get line. If you close that line you will get the surface. For example, okay, you see this board is there. From here to here it is one line. I am taking for example here one line I have taken. Then the line is extended like this. The line is extended like this. The line is going to be closed and closed. Now I can say it is one surface. It is one surface. This surface has been created by closing this particular line. Okay, so closed line is providing the open surface. It is just open surface. Okay, now you consider this particular wall, wherever you are there, in that is one room. Okay, in that room now one wall is there. That wall has been created by closing the line like this. Now one wall is created. Okay, like that, how many walls are there, or how many sides are there in your room? 6 sides are available. So by closing all those open surfaces, each side is nothing but one open surface. Okay, each side of your room is nothing but one open surface. Like that, all the 6 sides we are taking into the closed surface. Okay, if you add all those 6 open surfaces, that is called closed surface. That will become the volume. Your room is a volume. You are in that. Okay, like that you consider. Okay, understanding of this is very, very important. So the final conclusions are: closed line will provide open surface, closed surface will provide volume. Based on this, Stokes theorem and Gauss divergence theorem are available in your mathematics. Okay, so according to this only we will write those Stokes theorem and Gauss divergence theorem. By using that Stokes theorem and Gauss divergence theorem, I can say, for example, here closed line integral of a bar dot d bar is there, and it is equal to, I can write open surface integral of del cross A ds bar. Like this I can able to write. Okay, so similarly we can able to write Gauss divergence theorem also. That Gauss divergence theorem is related to this closed surface and volume. Okay, so here I can able to tell this part. Del, what are the units of del? Del units are 1 by meter. How to tell that one? In Cartesian coordinate system, if you take del, that is dou by dou x, ax cap plus dou by dou y, ay cap plus dou by dou z, az cap. This is nothing but del. You see what it is giving? Numerator nothing is there. In the denominator, change in x, change in y, change in z. X is nothing but certain amount of distance in the x direction. Dy is nothing but certain amount of change in the y direction. Dz is giving certain amount of change in the z direction. So change in distances. Change in distances means 5 meters minus 2 meters. You will get 3 meters. 5 minus 2 means 3 meters you will get. So the difference is also distance only. Dx is also distance only. Okay, that is also measured in meters only. So numerator nothing is there. That means some constant 1 by denominator is giving the meters. So the units of del is nothing but 1 by meter. Remember that one. Okay. Then you see here del is nothing but 1 by meter. You leave about a that we don't want, into it is surface integral. So here ds is there. So it is meter square. Okay, del is nothing but 1 by meter and ds is nothing but meter square, because that is area meter square. Volume means meter cube, length means meter. So 1 by meter. So meter will be cancelled, it will give meter. So here also you see we left already a, we don't want that a now for our discussion. So this is a dl, this is length is measured in meters. So meters is equal to meters. Satisfied, equation is satisfied. Whenever you forget about writing this equation, you cross check with these units, then you will get the clarity. Okay, somewhere you have, if you do any mistake, then you cross check with the units, then you will get the clarity. Okay, so EMTL is a difficult subject, but you can able to understand with the comparison of the units in the beginning stage. After that the concepts can be known easily. Okay, so it is giving the information about closed line. This integral I have closed here. Okay, so closed line is giving open surface. For the surface integral I did not take an closed symbol here. That means it is open integral. Okay, open surface integral, but it is a closed line integral. The closed line is giving the open surface. The closed line is giving the open surface. That's why this equation is okay. This equation is satisfied that particular theory. Okay, and this equation is related to Stokes theorem. Now coming to this one, closed surface and volume. So I need to take closed surface integral like this, closed surface integral of a bar dot ds bar, because surface integral I should take ds. Okay, it is line integral, that's why I have taken dl. So closed surface will give the volume, that means it is equal to volume integral of, volume is scalar only. Okay, so volume integral of del dot a bar, divergence we have to take here, del dot a bar into dv. Now you see with respect to units, we forget about a units we are not considering, or you take anything also, no problem. Okay, that is one vector. ds means meter square, it is surface area, meter square is equal to, del means what are the units? Del means 1 by meter, it is very very important, remember that. Del is nothing but 1 by meter into, it is volume, volume is nothing but meter cube. So 1 by meter into meter cube is equal to meter square. So meter square is equal to meter square, satisfied. So this is nothing but Gauss divergence theorem. Here divergence property we are using. Okay, del dot a bar divergence, del cross a curl. Okay, del cross a bar curl. Okay, all those things are the basics, you have to remember all those things. So from this discussion, what did you understand? The main important concept is closed line will give open surface, closed line will give open surface, closed surface will give volume. You have to compare with your environment now. Okay, so closed line, this is the board, this is one line, second line, third line, fourth line. It is closed now. The line is closed, it is giving the board, that means open surface it is giving. Okay, and in your room 6 open surfaces are there. 6 open surfaces are closed, then that is becoming the closed surface, that is giving the volume, that is giving the volume. So those two are related to Stokes theorem and Gauss divergence theorem. Today only you have to learn these two. Okay, writing these equations also without any mistake. Okay, now coming to our discussion, that is Gauss law. So in this Gauss law we are requiring the closed surface. I am talking about closed surface means that is the volume, that is the volume. So Gauss law is related to closed surface, that means Gauss law is related to volume. So I have compared this one with your college bag. In your college bag books are available, those books are charges, the charges are radiating, the charges are giving the electric flux lines outside of that particular closed surface, that means your books are radiating the knowledge out of your bag. Okay, your books are radiating the knowledge out of your bag. So the knowledge is coming or the knowledge is diverging from the books through the closed surface. Like that, this particular positive charge I have taken, okay, and it is giving the diverging of all the electric flux lines. Now coming to our Gauss law. Gauss law is related to electric flux. So electric flux lines are available, psi is available over. Electric charge is also available, those two things we have taken, but charge should be available inside the bag. Charge should be available inside the closed surface. Okay, charge should be available inside the closed surface. So like that only I have taken. And electric flux lines are diverging, because it is a positive charge, electric flux lines are diverging outside. So situation we have created here, whatever Gauss is saying, that situation we have created. Now we will see what is Gauss law. Whatever the electric flux lines are passing through this particular closed surface, whatever the knowledge is diverging from your bag is equal to the charge enclosed by the closed surface, the books which are present in your bag. బ్యాగ్లో ఉన్న పుస్తకాల వల్ల ఎంత ఆ పుస్తకాలు ఏం చెప్తున్నాయో అదే నాలెడ్జ్ బయటకు వస్తుంది. ఛార్జ్ ఎంతైతే ఉందో ఆ ఛార్జ్కి ఎంతవరకు ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ లైన్స్ని జనరేట్ చేస్తుందో అంత ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ లైన్సే బయటకు వస్తాయి. సో ద అమౌంట్ ఆఫ్ ద నెట్ ఎలక్ట్రిక్ ఫ్లక్స్ లైన్స్ పాసింగ్ త్రూ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ క్లోజ్డ్ సర్ఫేస్ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు the total amount of charge which is available inside the closed surface. That is nothing but Gauss law. Compare the situation with your bag and books, then in your lifetime you will not forget about this particular Gauss law. Okay, so what is Gauss law? Once again I am telling, the net electric flux passing through the closed surface is equal to the amount of charge enclosed by that particular closed surface only. This is about Gauss law. Okay. So now I will give some examples here. You need to tell the answer. Okay, I will tell, but you have to try to tell the answer with your own. Okay. So this is the closed surface I am taking. You consider it is a closed surface. In this, I have taken 3 coulombs of charge is available. 3 coulombs of charge is available. Now you tell how much amount of electric flux is coming out of this one, out of this closed surface. Psi is equal to how much? 3 coulombs. Okay. Then closed surface is available. 3 coulombs of charge is there. In addition to this 3 coulombs of charge, 2 coulombs of charge is also available. Okay, in addition to this 3 coulombs of charge, 2 coulombs of charge is also available. Now you tell how much amount of electric flux is coming. How much amount of electric flux is passing through this particular closed surface area. Means 2 plus 5, 3 plus 2, 5 coulombs of total amount of charge is available inside the closed surface. So 5 coulombs of electric flux is also coming outside. Here you may get one doubt. Something is equal to something, psi is equal to q, means the nature of psi is equal to the nature of q. That means whatever the units are there for q, same units we are taking for the psi. Okay, don't think that coulombs are the only units for only the electric charge. Don't think that coulombs are the only units. Okay, don't think that coulombs are the units for only the electric charge. These are also the units for electric flux also. Electric flux psi and electric charge q, both are having the same units, coulombs only. Remember that. That's why we are equating. Okay, inside the closed surface, if you have 3 coulombs of electric charge, outside the electric flux is coming is also equal to 3 coulombs only. I am telling electric flux is also 3 coulombs only. Now in this particular closed surface, 2 types of the charges are there. One is 3 coulombs, second one is 2 coulombs. Even though it is having 2 different charges separately, 3 coulombs and 2 coulombs, whatever the net electric flux is passing through this particular closed surface is the addition of these two we have to consider. That is 2 plus 3, that is 5 coulombs of electric flux is coming outside. Now you should think differently. Okay, what is your idea? Next, whatever I am going to write, can you tell? That is, I am taking plus 3 coulombs and minus 3 coulombs. Can you tell what is the electric flux is coming out of this one? That is 0. 3 minus 3 will become 0. No electric flux is coming outside. Okay, no electric flux is going out of this particular closed surface. If you take like this, 3 minus 4 coulombs, 3 coulombs, total is how much? Minus 1. Negative charge. Whenever you are talking about negative charge, electric flux are converging like this. So psi is equal to minus 1 coulomb. Like that you can able to learn about this particular Gauss law. Okay, so Gauss law is very simple when you compare with your bag and books. Okay, what is there in your books that will radiate? That is called Gauss law. Okay, so technically we can tell the net electric flux passing through the closed surface is equal to the charge enclosed by that closed surface. I am not telling the net electric flux going outside. I am not telling the net electric flux coming inside. I am telling the net electric flux passing. Okay, because when the negative charge is there, the flux is going inside. When positive charge is there, the flux is going outside. So in the definition, we should not tell outside and inside, going and coming. We should say passing. Passing is involving both entering and going. Okay, so in the definition we have to include the term passing. And next important term is closed surface. Next important term is enclosed. Okay, enclosed by the closed surface is also important. Okay, so once again I am telling the net electric flux passed through the closed surface is equal to the amount of charge enclosed by that particular closed surface. Okay, so here I will take one more example. You need to tell the answer. Closed surface I have taken. Inside the closed surface 3 coulombs is there. Outside the surface 3 coulombs is there. Now can you tell, apply the Gauss law and tell how much amount of electric flux is passing through this particular closed surface? Answer is 3 coulombs only, because according to the Coulomb's law, the net electric flux which is passing through this particular closed surface is equal to the charge enclosed by this particular closed surface only. The charge enclosed by this particular closed surface is 3 coulombs only. This 3 coulombs is outside the closed surface, so it is not involved in this action. Okay, we have to take the charges which are involved in this closed surface only. So what is psi in this case? Even though this 3 coulombs is nearer to this particular closed surface also, you should take psi is equal to 3 coulombs only. This is this 3 coulombs, not outside 3 coulombs. Okay, this is about the definition of the Gauss law. Now we will see mathematically, we will see about this Gauss law. Okay. So as I said, the Gauss law is nothing but, Gauss law states that whatever the net electric flux passing through any closed surface is equal to the amount of charge enclosed by that particular closed surface only. Okay, so I can take psi is equal to Q. In this way we have taken. If you have idea about this one, you can write like this also. The net electric flux passing through the closed surface is equal to the charge enclosed by the closed surface, that closed surface only. Like this we can write. Next we will remodify this one. It is electric flux. So we will write this electric flux in terms of the electric flux density. In EMDL you will see so many vectors. Electric field intensity vector, electric flux density vector, magnetic field intensity vector, magnetic flux density vector. These are the 4 things are important. Okay, so these 2 are related to electric fields and these 2 are related to magnetic fields, and there is a relation also. Bar I have indicated means these are vectors. Electric field intensity, electric flux density, magnetic field intensity, magnetic flux density. Gauss law is related to whatever the Gauss law we are discussing now, that Gauss law is related to electric fields now. Gauss law for magnetic fields is also there, that we will see later. Gauss law for electric fields we are discussing. So briefly if you go, when somebody is asking about, tell about Gauss law. When somebody is asking you about Gauss law, you need to ask them like this. Gauss law for electric fields you are asking, or Gauss law for magnetic fields you are asking. Like that you need to ask. Okay, if they have mentioned Gauss law for electric fields, then you need to tell this one. Afterwards we will see Gauss law for magnetic fields also. Okay, if you understand this one, Gauss law for magnetic fields is easy. Okay, so since we are discussing about Gauss law for electric fields, these are the things are involved, E bar and D bar, and these 2 are related very simply. D bar is equal to epsilon E bar. Electric flux density is equal to permittivity. This is epsilon, called as permittivity, into electric field intensity. You need to know everything. Okay, what is permittivity? Permittivity is nothing but ability of the medium. Okay, it is the ability of the medium to store the electric fields into it. To store the electric fields into it. The definitions of each and everything are very, very important. Okay, so this is permittivity related to electric fields, and it is defined as the ability of the medium to store the electric fields into it, into that particular medium. Okay, it is a property of the medium, it is a property of the substrate, it is a property of the dielectric material. Okay, that is a permittivity, and the units of permittivity are farads per meter, farads per meter. Like this you can able to tell. So d bar is equal to epsilon E bar, where epsilon is the permittivity whose units are farads per meter. Electric flux density is related to the electric field intensity by using this particular permittivity only. So here we will take the psi value, the electric flux value in terms of electric flux density. It is electric flux density. We have here electric flux. So this electric flux density is measured in coulombs per meter square. Per unit area, how much amount of electric flux is passing, that is given by electric flux density. Okay, d bar is equal to coulombs per meter square. So it is having the units of coulombs per meter square, but we need to write here coulombs only. It is coulombs is equal to coulombs. So this psi can be written as closed surface integral of d bar dot ds bar. Like this we have taken. It is closed surface integral. Now you check with units first. D is having the units of coulombs per meter square into, it is differential surface. Differential surface is having the units of, it is surface area means meter square. So meter square will be cancelled, you will get coulombs only. So it is equal to Q, that is Q enclosed. This is giving the coulombs, this integral is giving the coulombs, that is equal to Q is also coulombs only. So satisfied. Next, why should I take closed surface? Already from the starting onwards I am telling closed surface only. So that closed surface only we have taken. In that closed surface, charge is available. Because of that charge, electric flux lines are going outside. Okay, electric flux lines are going outside. This is the, for example, this is a closed surface I have taken. This is the closed surface, and because of the charge present in this one, the electric flux lines are going outside like this. And for example, instead of taking the integration, this entire integration, why should we take here? To cover the total surface area. To cover the total surface area, we have taken the closed integral. But in order to do that one, here differential surface area we have taken. That differential surface is nothing but ds is this one. Every surface is having is a vector, and it is having the direction perpendicular to that particular surface. Every surface is having the direction perpendicular to that particular surface only. So in this way we have taken, and the electric flux is coming outside. Entire this closed surface, the electric flux is coming outside. So for example, since we have considered this is a ds value, after that if you integrate, we can able to cover total surface. That is the meaning of this integration. Okay, for example, d bar is going like this. This is d bar, this is ds bar. Okay, certain amount of angle is there in between these two, that is alpha. But whenever this d bar is in the direction of ds, that means when the angle is equal to 0, when alpha is equal to 0, this is nothing but this particular d bar we are taking in the direction of ds bar. At that time, through this differential surface, the maximum amount of electric flux is passing. Okay, but whenever this is like this, ds is like this, when the d bar is like this, that means these two are having alpha is equal to 90 degrees. At that time, 0 amount of electric flux is passing through this particular differential surface. So in order to have more electric flux which is passing through this particular electric differential surface area, we should have alpha is equal to 0. If you have alpha is equal to 90, ds is in this direction and d bar is in this direction, there is no amount of electric flux passing through this particular surface area. Okay, and if it is like this, for example 45 degrees we have taken, so it is not maximum, it is not minimum, it is in between minimum and maximum value. So what is the meaning of this one? Means it is depending on this particular angle, it is depending upon the alpha, so that the relation is involving the dot product. When the angle is equal to 0, when the angle is 0, what is a bar dot b bar? Magnitude of a into magnitude of b into cos of alpha. When alpha is 0, cos 0 is 1, maximum value you will get. When alpha is 90, cos 90 is 0, 0 amount of electric flux is passing through the surface. That is the meaning. Okay, whatever theoretically we are seeing, we are telling here, same thing we can able to see mathematically also. Okay, so alpha is equal to 0, maximum amount of electric flux is coming, alpha is equal to 90, then 0 amount of electric flux is passing through the closed surface. So it is involving the effect of alpha. That means it is involving the dot product. That's why here dot product we have taken. Okay. So it is equal to, again what I told, whatever the charge is enclosed by this particular closed surface, that is equal to whatever the flux is coming. Okay. So this is about Gauss law, and we can able to write about the point form of this Gauss law also. This is integral form, and this can be remodified by using the volume charge density which is available in this one. It may contain volume charge, or it may contain surface charge or line charge or the point charge, whatever it may be. We can able to write this Q enclosed in terms of the, it is Q enclosed. If you keep like that only, that is telling the information about point charge. You can able to write that in terms of the rho L, that means line charge. You can able to write in terms of the rho S, surface charge, or you can able to write in terms of the rho V, volume charge. So in this way we can able to write different equations for the Gauss law. Finally, by the application of the Gauss divergence theorem, we can able to write the point form also, that is involving del dot D is equal to rho V, del dot D is equal to rho V. This is the point form of the Gauss law. Okay, all these things we will see in the next class. Thank you.